Joining me today is Constable Jeff Bartsch with the Weyburn Police Service. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
So you're fairly new to the police service.
I am. I just arrived here in Weyburn in September and started with the force in October.
And how are you finding things so far?
Weyburn's a very good community. It's a very open community, and I'm finding that people here are very responsive in a positive way. So.
Good. And I think, if memory serves me correctly, you came from New Brunswick.
I did. I was retraining with the Atlantic Police Academy, which is in Summerside, Prince Edward Island. Spent 9 months there, of which a 2.5 month practicum was with the Woodstock Police Service in New Brunswick.
Okay. Yeah. And now you've brought with you a really great idea. We've kind of highlighted some mental health issues with Bell Let's Talk Day at the end of January, and you want to do something special to help bring some awareness to the city of Weyburn.
Right, correct. I am an avid marathon runner, endurance runner. I've always liked running and recently got into endurance running myself. I had an idea to raise money for the Canadian Mental Health here in Weyburn to run the full marathon, the whole 42.2 kilometers. In Saskatoon at the 2016 Saskatchewan Marathon, wearing my full police gear. So it's going to be a big challenge. I know there's only a handful of officers in North America that ever attempted the feat. So I thought I'd give back to the mental health community and to the city of Weyburn, as well as the police service.
Now, training for a regular marathon is very physically taxing. What's that like?
It's, you said it, the best word to describe it is physically taxing. It's also psychologically taxing as well, which kind of leads hand in hand with the mental health as well. It leads, I guess, trains your mind as well. I know I've had some issues with mental health myself, with some depression and anxiety earlier in my life, and running has helped me defeat that. So. Right.
Now, you want to run in May in Saskatoon. The weather could be a little bit warmer at the time, and you're going to be wearing sort of like full police gear. How are you training for that?
I do have a current plan here, which I've revamped from a coach of mine, Colin Federal, which is through Brain Sport up in Saskatoon. I guess I'm going to stick with that, what I know works, and it's 2 runs of 45 to 60 minutes a week. For time, and a 30-minute easy run, followed by 2 days of cross training and 1 day of a long run, which progressively gets longer and longer. So the week 1 here starts today, actually tonight, with a 10-kilometer run, which I'm going to attempt on a treadmill at the police service wearing my gear here. So it's quite taxing. It does get worse. It does get a little more physically and mentally challenging as it goes on, but that's why I'm here, and I'm here for the long haul. So.
Sure. What drives you to do this? You mentioned before that you had some mental health issues, but is just getting the awareness out in the community?
There's a little bit of that as well. I know that the law enforcement community, as well as first responders, including ambulance and fire, we deal and see with a lot of things that I guess you can say aren't necessarily normal or easy to deal with. And I know that in the past years, a lot of first responders had trouble dealing with those mental health issues and speaking to people through debriefings or meetings, and which can lead to a lot of unfortunate suicides for us. Having said that, this way here, it's a way for us to, or a way for me to help the mental health community, for us to open up to help those officers and first responders deal with their mental issues, the mental health issues, as well as the community that we serve, which is high and rising mental health issues that we need to learn how to deal with as well. So.
And with, again, this current state of the economy, you are seeing more and more volatile situations, and that's something that you guys have to deal with as the Weyburn Police.
Absolutely, yeah, that's very true. We did have a psychology teacher at the Atlantic Police Academy, Inspector Leslie Hadfield. She's a wonderful teacher through psychology and mental health, and lots of scenario-based training at the Academy to help us deal with those sorts of situations professionally. So.
Now, you mentioned that you're raising money as well for the Canadian Mental Health Branch here in Weyburn. How are you doing that?
Right, so I decided to partner with Tasha Collins from the Canadian Mental Health Association here in Weyburn to raise money in support of that. I do have silicone bracelets that will be arriving here on Friday in Weyburn for sale. They can be purchased through the Canadian Mental Health Office at 404 Ashford Street, as well as at our office at the Police Service at 400 Cotto Avenue. I also have a GoFundMe page that's set up to help with those online donations, which taxable receipts can also be obtained from all 3 locations. So
sure.
That's how I'm doing that.
And people can follow your progress too. You said you have some links that on the website.
Right, I had recently attempted a 10-kilometer run while with the Woodstock Police Force on practicum this summer. And I have a video up on YouTube of some of the clips of that. I hope to get some more footage of myself here in Weyburn. I do have a Twitter page at jr_Bartsch, a Facebook page which is Marathon space mental health, as well as the video which is linked to the GoFundMe page, which is at www.gofundme.com/marathon42-2.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if people see you out running, you know, you're just training, you're not always on the job at this point.
Right, correct. I do have, and I'm in the process of obtaining some training equipment just for liability issues of wearing my work gear and tools. But everything I will be training with will be the same weight and of the same size. So if anybody sees me around Weyburn training, it's just me training. So.
And the day of the marathon, you're not going to be wearing the exact gear that you're wearing today?
It's going to be very similar. It's going to be a police collared shirt, most likely short sleeve given the weather. Pants very similar, and a belt that's all very similar with all the special tools and gear, just training tools, not live tools. So. Yeah.
So if people want some more information, can they contact you at the Weyburn Police Service?
Absolutely. You can come in and contact me directly at the Weyburn Police Service. If I'm not there, I'm sure somebody would be glad to help and fill you in there as well. You can also contact the Weyburn Mental Health Association. They have some information, as well as feel free to leave me a comment on any one of the means of social media there, for sure.
Sure. And just remind us again, when is the marathon?
The marathon is Sunday, May 29th. 2016, which will be held in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
Good. Well, we wish you all the luck, and if you want to come back and give us some updates on how your training's going, we definitely invite you to do that.
Perfect. One more thing to add is I do have updates on my GoFundMe page of different training and maps. I currently use a Nike Sport watch, so if anybody's interested, they can follow me along where I am running and how I'm doing. So.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Constable Bartsch, for coming in today.
Thank you so much for having me.